Hi everyone, happy Friday. Firstly, welcome back on VCTV. I sort of gotten used to this new web-based application, so I'm so excited to have you back on VCTV. As you can see, I can tell Tushar, William, and Gary, and we have Hansel as well, who's going to talk about his interesting startup. So today's topic is equally interesting and need of the hour because of the pandemic. So many changes. It's not a bit of a change, but a big change in our lifestyles. So today we're going to talk about TransTech, transformation tech, fitness and sports, wellness tech, and sustainable food. So today we have, okay, great. I can see everybody in there. I was making sure. So before I start introducing my speakers who are all in here, I can see them on my screen. My name is Sunny Mohanty. I'm the Regional Director of LATOKEN based in Singapore. I host VCTV, which is a venture capital TV, Monday till Friday, 8 p.m. Singapore time. This is the fixed time I host. So the whole idea of VCTV is to connect the founders, the entrepreneurs like Hansel with investors like Gary, William, and Tushar today. So fantastic. It's going to be interesting. Discussed on my panel before, and I'm looking forward to hear a lot of insights from all of you today. So let's just start with Tushar today. Hi, Tushar. Welcome back on VCTV. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Sunny. Thank you for having me again on the show today. So give you a brief background about myself. I am a guy with 20 years of experience in corporate finance and also the fundraising industry. I run Consultancy Ventures, which is a tech-focused investment management outfit. We help investments in technology across agri-tech, food tech, fintech, space tech, and also AI and ML and any kind of deep tech and disruptive technology. Personally, I have worked at India's largest VC fund, Brand Capital, driving $100 million worth of investments. I've also worked for private equity practice at Deloitte & Touche and the Russian company Systema's India unit, and also CFO with the Distribution Logistics. That's a company owned by Guggenheim Partners. Happy to be here today and to guide viewers about this very important topic today.
Indeed, it is very important. Thank you, Tushar, and welcome back. Next, I have William. Hi, William. Welcome back. How are things with you? Happy Friday.
Hi, Sonny. It's always great to be with you. Okay, especially on a Friday night. We have a date then. All right. Okay, my name is William Du from Engineer's House. We evolved into a family office in 2020, investing and involved in ESG projects such as vertical farms, solar, and also grocery delivery businesses. All right. And today I'll be wearing a different hat. Today I'm talking on behalf of Agros Group, where we are actually building Malaysia's largest vertical farm now. All right. Looking forward to
I love anything to do with farming and architect, William. Fantastic. I'm very excited to hear from you what's happening in that space, vertical farming. Okay. Next, I have Gary. Hi, Gary. Happy Friday.
Hi. Happy Friday to you. Now, Sonny, I have a question. Are you going biking this weekend?
Yes, I am indeed.
Because I love keep posting. I love those biking, all these excursions you take.
Yeah, you're not going to miss it. I'm going to be biking as well.
All right, sounds good. Anyhow, my name's Gary Fowler. I'm a serial entrepreneur and investor. I've done 17 companies. I've been involved in 2 unicorns. I was on the original management team. Click Software, a Haifa-based Israel company that we moved to Silicon Valley. Sold to Salesforce for $1.35 billion. I also am the co-founder of Eva.ai. Eva.ai is one of the premier AI HR tech companies in the world today. And I am the co-founder, president, and CEO of Get Shit Done GSD Venture Studios, an AI and quantum venture studio located in Silicon Valley, helping companies from all over the world go global with diving in operationally. So it's great to be here, and I look forward to the conversations today, and good to see some friends. It's really nice.
Yes, it's always nice to see friends. Thank you, Gary, for that intro.
Sure.
Okay, Hansel, quick intro, then we go to a presentation in the second half, please. Welcome to VCTV. This is your first time.
Hi, and I welcome everyone. Nice to see everyone. My name is Hansel. I'm a serial entrepreneur. Well, just two companies. One had to be shut down. One, we are going into blockchain. So I spent 7 years building a coffee company. So I went from zero, originally starting from the IT and tech industry, then moving into coffee. And I have access to some of the finest coffees. So I spent 7 years perfecting the perfect brew. And we're going to go into distribution with blockchain because we see on the biggest efficiencies and energy efficiencies using blockchain rather than traditional methods of distribution.
Fantastic. Okay, Hansel, that's a good topic to discuss today on the panel. And I'm sure everybody is going to love your project and probably invest in it. Okay, thank you so much for that intro. Today, we're going to talk about mental wellness and technology.
Thank you.
The relationship between the two. Thank you, William. And yeah. Sorry, Hansel. Beg my apology. Mental tech health via virtual care, where chatbots and other futuristic innovations is moving mainstream to support the 450 million individuals currently struggling. So yes, it's a big area. We've spoken about mental wellness, mental health is actually moving beyond, far beyond the psychiatric couch with the technological advancement. And it has actually digitally transformed so much that wellness is not separate from technology anymore. So let's talk about some interesting. Let's have some interesting discussions on the space. Also talk about sustainable food and food, which is the medicine for us, not a food that we consume to just survive. Let's talk about all that in this session. Let's start with Tushar. Tushar, so today, as you know, it's a very new topic and interesting as well, and also many ways has affected many of us, maybe many of us as well. So what's the essence of today's discussion on wellness and tech to start with?
Sunny, this is a topic which is very close to today's times. It's very, very relevant. To give you a very beautiful example, there is a very small Himalayan country called Bhutan, which is next to India. So they didn't have any TVs. The television wasn't there even till the year 2000. And the first time television was introduced, the first ever murder in the country happened. I'm not saying that television was responsible for it, but just to tell of how things change. And Bhutan is a country which has a gross happiness product, alongside a gross development product, GDP. And now we talk about wellness. The UAE, United Arab Emirates, is the first country to have established a national well-being observatory and elected a minister of happiness. So 96. There's a study by Gallup. It says that 96% of people see a direct correlation between well-being, performance, and life success. And more businesses recognize the stats and are putting well-being at the heart of their budget. So, the problems. What are the problems which are causing this particular topic to come on the center? The first is the internet and mobile technologies. They give us access to an insane quality of data. This has exposed the complexity of world dynamics, making it increasingly harder for people to understand how they can fit and play a valuable role. So this causes higher rates of anxiety and depression. Second, education is not preparing for tomorrow's world. As technology innovation grows exponentially, human development in schools has not grown. So education today is under fire, and we have been training students to perform better and for jobs that will not exist soon. And third one, lack of human development opportunities. So apart from education, other common human development opportunities are lacking today. In the traditional sense, religion has always played a crucial role, but 4 in 10 millennials in a Pew Research Center study said that they are religiously unaffiliated. Fourth, limited social support. The millennials are called the loneliest generation based on a survey in US. Fifth, job displacement is a big challenge. almost 40 to 50% of our jobs will be technically and economically achievable by artificial intelligence and automation over the next 15 years. And PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, estimates that AI will add $16 trillion to world GDP by 2030. So the wealth gap will widen between countries, between AI companies and routine companies, and between individuals like the tycoons versus the displaced workers. All of this is causing mental issues, and that is causing health issues, and hence the importance of today's topic, which is about wellness.
Great points, Tushar. Great points are there to start with, begin with. This is a very, very important topic, as you rightly said, and we've rightly pointed out. And we have seen many cases of mental issues leading to suicides in 2020. So yeah, so let's talk about how food is actually directly going to affect our health, and how to invest, or how to make food sustainable for human beings. So my next question is for William. So first of all, William, what is sustainable food and how that is related to our health and our well-being?
All right, I started looking into sustainability the second half last year. Okay, after 3 months of getting stuck under a hard lockdown at home. Okay, I'm thinking, what should we how should we move forward, and how do we evolve or pivot to new business? Okay, and then I attend several seminars, okay, webinars, and everybody is talking about how can we become sustainable, okay, and in particular food. Right. If you look at the entire logistic and also environment today, a lot of restriction, a lot of hurdles where companies and farms are facing. Right. So the next question is our food sustainable? Right. And how do they affect, okay, our habits and also and on our environment? Okay. So based on my findings today, food accounts for almost 25% of greenhouse emission released into our air. Okay, and the food you eat also has direct impact on land and water system, right? Around 70% of our water taken from freshwater lakes and river are used for agriculture, all right? And agriculture industry also causes 60% of deforestation, okay, clearing land for farming. Okay, if you look at Malaysia, for example, every year we will have haze for 2 to 3 months where air pollution index is hazardous to humans, right? So why is this happening? Because they have to burn and their leftover openly, right? So that's why you can see a lot of pollution coming from agriculture. And why we are investing into urban farming, or in particular vertical farms, all right? Because we have proved that through our last 4 months of experimenting with our pilot container farm, right? We only use slightly less than 5% of water compared to open space or traditional farming. We only use 5% of land, okay? So I'll give you an example that we use. We are operating on a 40-footer container now, all right? It's around 300 square feet of land, all right? And that is equivalent to 1 acre of traditional farm, all right? And we are not affected by the weather because it's in a controlled environment. Everything we do, the temperature, the lights, okay, and including the input of nutrient are all controlled, okay? And we have adopt sensors and IoT to measure every single input, and also we can measure the output, all right? So therefore, we are actually very confident that this will be able to solve a lot of the sustainability problem. Therefore, we actually want to move and push ahead into vertical farm in Malaysia.
Great, because vertical farming is quite popular in Singapore because of lack of space. I would say I've seen.
Yeah, but that is a misconception, because it doesn't mean that if you plant a few stacks of vertical farm on your balcony or on the rooftop, you see the you can't really control the environment on your balcony and of course on rooftop. And you have to look at the yield as well, right? So the efficiency use of resources are not really measured if you are just building for hobby or just to feed yourself, right? But being said that, Singapore government is pushing it. I think the Temasek and Bayer has gone into a joint venture to build a vertical farm in Singapore. So the government is actually pushing it on a commercial scale now.
Yes, it is indeed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, growing on balconies is also a therapy. That's how I see it.
Yes, only that.
To stay away from mental illness, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, but it's very therapeutic, I would say. Okay, mental wellness and technology. Rethinking the relationship. Gary, let's start with your opening remarks. For me, wellness in general was nothing related to, there was no sort of relationship between technology before the pandemic. I could go on holidays and on a retreat, on a yoga retreat or wellness retreat, nothing to do with technology. I'll switch off my phone. But now, post 2020, I think there's a lot going on between the two. So let's just start with you with that.
Well, there's a lot of things that are happening right now. And, I'm a clinical psychologist too. So my graduate degree is in clinical psychology, one of them. And so we look at where we are. One is, we talk about it many times, we're inundated with information, Sonny, from all kinds of different areas. And this infobesity that we have really gets us, we need to learn to chill out. And it's funny because when you were talking about the plants, my wife actually talks to her plants and it soothes her. So, but at the same time, look at where we are. We've got a population that has quadrupled in the last 100 years. It's now the population of planet Earth is about 8.1 billion, forecasted to be about 13 billion by the end of this century. At the same time, if you look at farm animals and the amount of soil that's taken, it's about 45% of the Earth's area is taken up on the agricultural side. So we need to come up with some incredibly new areas that are going to help us dynamically shift. So, what William was talking about is what I call highly efficient, intelligent agriculture, where you're able to use smart sensors and IoT to be able to understand. I mean, look at where we used to be if you were a farmer. And I grew up on a farm in Pennsylvania, a small village of 500. And I remember the farmers going out. They never had the science to be able to go to their soils to figure out if they should rotate their crops or that kind of thing. A lot of it was really hit and miss and passed down to generations. But now think of the opportunity. Now we can use things like drones. We can use things like IoT to become highly efficient. And then I've written an article recently in Forbes about genomes and gene splitting. Imagine being able to take and create highly efficient crops to be able to maximize it. So the other thing is, as we're moving down through this whole environment and moving to plant-based food to be able to make the world a little bit better place and reduce all the destruction from the gases from the agriculture animals into the atmosphere. I mean, these are things that have to happen, and it's the right thing to do. So where we are today with the farming 4.0 and agriculture 4.0 is to really become more highly efficient, utilize or optimize land usage, use the technology and the data we have to create highly efficient crops, use the biochemistry and the genetics to be able to create crops that are going to have much higher yield, and use farming in ways like hydroponics to be able to do it in places where we've never been able to do it before. So I'm really encouraged about some of the changes that are taking place, everything in terms of farming and to create the sustainable food, the self-diving tractors and more efficient crops. So it's an exciting time.
Yeah.
May I add something here, Sunny, if you don't mind?
Yes, sure. Go ahead, Tushar.
So, it takes an average about 11 times as much fossil fuel to produce a calorie of animal protein as it does to produce a calorie of grain protein. So considerably more carbon dioxide is released in the atmosphere. So as Gary said, we are releasing obnoxious amounts of gases like carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide, which if there is a movement going around to be vegan, and that movement is because feeding massive amounts of grain and water to farmed animals and then killing them and processing, transporting, and storing their flesh is extremely energy extensive. And forests are cut down in order to supply pasture land and grow crops for farmed animals. And if you look at the land area, not eating meat and dairy products can reduce a person's carbon footprint by up to 73%. And if people were to stop eating meat products, the area of land used for global agriculture would be reduced by around 75%. So that is the movement behind vegan food.
So you are promoting vegan food, is it? Like obviously I know going vegan is not something that is new. We have always been talking about this. It's been a decade, I think, more than a decade, that people, promoting this go vegan. But I don't know. There's pros and cons to it. Not having meat protein.
So our whole lifestyle is built around milk and animal products like eggs and meat. So if you talk about changing people's lifestyle, it becomes a kind of a nobody would like to their lifestyle to be touched. But if you make people understand the science behind it, that it takes 11 times as much fossil fuel to produce calorie. If you make it a part of the school teaching, and that's what students learn, so this change will happen, and more and more it is happening.
Right. Great points. Good points. So now I see all of you, I guess, on my screen. I'm just wondering if I've lost anybody to backstage. Okay. So another topic we're going to touch upon is TransTech. Honestly, I didn't have any clue about what is TransTech before coming on the show. I had to Google it to understand what is TransTech. So let's just start with Tushar again. Then I move to Gary and William about this topic. What is TransTech and why is it needed? Especially, why are we discussing this with wellness and how is it related to wellness?
So TransTech, they are basically transformative technologies, which are hardware and software that support mental health, emotional well-being, and human thriving. So these new technologies, they give us the means to hack personal transformation. And they use latest research in sciences such as behavioral change, artificial intelligence, digital medicine, sleep tech, or robotics. So they're trying to enable personal transformation, which is the individual process of expanding consciousness. So just as, spiritually, we see many techniques being handed over the generations to improve your consciousness. So this is utilizing technology to do it. So, during personal transformation, you will become more critically aware of your old and new views, and you can see your own behavior from outside, and then you can integrate them into a new self-definition. So some examples of how transformative technology can affect our behavior through like apps and devices, like coaching, like explore and track your consciousness with meditation apps or self-tracking devices, hack meditation by monitoring brain activity with sensors, augment our mind by stimulating our brain activity with gadgets, and find focus and peace by using places such as float tanks, and enhance learning through virtual spaces. So taking assistance of all this technology enabled architecture to for a personal transformation using digital means.
Right. So great. I think it's loosely connected to wellness as well, wellness tech. So next question,
Right.
sorry, to Gary is the importance of technology and which technologies are actually coming into play when it comes to TransTech, wellness tech, health tech, apps, on generally building those for our, clients, the startups who are in this space.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. So look at it. This is not new. We've had galvanic skin response machines for some time. And in fact, when I was in university many years ago, I had one of my own. So basically, it would tell whether or not you're stressed out. It measures the sweat in the fingers. So this kind of biofeedback loops. The situation is interesting now that we're focused on it. But Sonny, we're really moving into a new threshold, because I've been talking about this for some time, but imagine an intelligent assistant, a TransTech assistant that can really help you to feel better. Imagine having your own personal coach, and not just in terms of talking to you, but able to monitor everything that's around you, the environment, monitor your Fitbits and your Apple Watch, your Garmin, whatever you have, and to be able to help you to be able to synthesize and reduce your stress levels. And imagine those same kind of systems tied into things like smart pills. So it's from the inside out and from the outside in. So we're in really the dawn of a new era, a dawn of a time where we're going to be able to understand. And again, part of it is where we are at any particular time. I mean, the challenge that we've had all kinds of different ways across multiple vertical markets and across ourselves is understanding where we are. So it's basically to have real-time understanding of what's happening within ourselves, within our body. Imagine having a system, that intelligent assistant that's tied into all the devices that we have, that'll say, listen, you need to take a break. Let's meditate, right? So it goes from the real scientific world to this metaphysical world to allow us to be able to relax. I mean, part of, stress is the biggest killer, right? So one of the challenges with all this data, and I talk about infobesity a lot, all this data around us, we're inundated with data. And, just think about, we talk about the phone. How many times a day do you pick up your phone, right? Yeah. And look at it? Hundreds. It's unbelievable. And if you don't do it for 5 minutes, you get nervous, or 10 minutes. So the next level is going to be this intelligent AI assistant that's an emotional AI assistant that's going to be like your guardian angel across a lot of walks of your life. It won't just work on the well-being side. It'll work across your lives to help guide you to make you better. And those kind of assistants are starting to come out now.
Yeah. Thank you, Gary. Very good point. Stress. I know last year was crazy. Okay. I just, with this, a new streaming platform, audience can actually chat with you, ask questions. So as and when we receive any comments for any speaker, we're going to share that question with our speakers. So just letting you know. Great. Coming back to, okay, I had a question from somebody saying they wanted to hear some songs in the background to de-stress themselves. Part of the wellness tech.
Well, I know Tushar is quite a singer. I mean, maybe Tushar. No recognize or anything, though.
Gary will sing a duet in AI, through AI.
Yeah, some of the singing AI is very interesting.
Karaoke, maybe we can start.
Tushar,
Some Bollywood songs.
Yeah, there you go.
With chicken also. Chicken
Honey, I have a question for you. With the Bollywood song, I love it too. Why did they go chimmy chimmy chonga chonga chimmy chimmy chonga chonga? Like when I watch like these guru, I love it, but it's like I don't understand. I love it, and let me tell you, does everybody dance like that in India? It's unbelievable. Like in the middle of the street, you're walking down, and then chimmy chimmy chonga chonga.
Oh gosh, Bollywood is all fantasy.
Gary, I didn't know you can sing.
I mean, it takes you to another world. Whenever I watch a Bollywood, it's like, even if it's like a bad situation, people start dancing.
Yeah.
And they're always dressed up nice too. It's not like you're like middle of the road. They're always dressed right.
So there you go. Bollywood is a de-stressing
Exactly.
solution for us. Great, good laugh. Thank you so much for making the Friday little light as well. Thank you, all of you. So Hansel, are you ready now with your presentation?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Let's start your presentation now.
So this is Black Lion Cafe. We started the dream of good coffee anyway. So the presentation will go through like this. We're sharing the vision, and we are sharing the problem where the perfect cup is difficult. So how do we save time and money using the blockchain technology, which ties into agriculture and how we efficiently distribute? Because in my position, that one of the biggest cost inefficiencies that turn
Hansel, make it full screen. Can we make it full screen?
Let's see. Let's see. Yeah. There's music, by the way.
Yeah, it's okay. We can hear some music. Why not?
Yeah. You might get a copyright strike. Yes.
Okay, we just see the first page.
Yes. There's a timer here. So let me go back to the normal window so that I can at least.
Okay, cool. Sure.
Hold on. I have an old Mac, so it's taking some time to switch back to the normal screen.
It's good coffee anywhere.
And Tushar, if you want to sing a couple songs right now, is a good time.
Yes, Tushar. Come on. Tushar, come on. From Bollywood.
Yeah.
Yinks, my baby left me. I found a new place to dwell.
Yeah, just a minute. My screen is frozen, so let me talk from memory. Is the music okay?
Can we stop sharing now? Then we are still see a very static page.
Right.
I'll sing this song.
I'm gonna have to cut down. Thank you. I'll be back.
I will back.
I
Can
will
we
be
stop
back.
sharing? Okay.
I'll sing the song right now, but Gary has to dance right now on the screen.
Yes,
Well,
let's
you
do
know
that.
something? Whatever it takes, Tushar, I'm willing to do it. But you have to dance and do.
2 seconds. Tushar, go on.
We can break out of one of those Bollywood things on Zoom. Probably the first time ever anybody's ever done that.
No.
As soon as this is a new show, an entirely new version of the show.
Yeah. Bollywood BCTV.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So that would be awesome. Anyways, okay, great fun. Hansel, just talk us through. Is it a coffee project, or how are you putting coffee on blockchain?
He's frozen. He's frozen.
Oh, are you there? Okay. He is frozen. Okay. All right. Time for you, Tushar. Some Bollywood songs.
No, Tushar.
Come on, Tushar. This is the lifetime opportunity you're getting.
Come on, this is about well-being, Tushar. Come on, it's a Friday.
Come on, Tushar. It's a Friday. Come on.
Yeah. So I do invest in entertainment startups. You know, that's
Go ahead. Don't be shy.
All right, Tushar.
Are you really saying I should sing on VCTV?
Yes. Go on. Go for it. We are waiting for him.
This is the intermission. We're waiting for Hansel to come back.
Yes. Okay, that's fine. We're waiting for Hansel. You can sing, or I can take the next question for William.
Take the next question. Believe me, don't go by what Gary says.
Okay, cool. William, okay, talking about sustainable food. So how does technology come into play these days with vertical farming, be it agriculture farming, traditional farming? I think with drones and everything, even traditional agriculture is getting benefited. With your project, so what are your recent investments? Like you just mentioned that you made some investments during the pandemic, and why did you make those investments? Was because of technology or purely because of the business model?
I think from my perspective, technology is a must, because without technology, you can't measure your ROI. We can't justify our ROI, for example. Okay, so if you look at oh, sorry, did I press anything?
Yeah, we see a blank. Okay, now it's okay.
Oh, you're back.
That's
Okay,
technology.
so if you look at the technology in our vertical farm, all right, we sort of getting the best of all world. Okay, our seeds are from the Netherlands. Our nutrient is from US. Okay, and interesting, all our hardware is from China. Okay, and the technology or the IoT or the AI is actually from Malaysia. Okay, so my partner Gerard is chief. He used to be the chief digital officer of in the government sector, right? So he speaks to telco. He dealt with government agencies to actually spearhead the digital transformation of our country, right?
Right.
So after he left the government sector, that's where he focused back into business. Okay, but however, before he actually invited into the government sector, he actually advised many agri-tech projects. Okay, so some of them are still used as a reference in our country. Okay, so when we started this project together, it's actually driven by agri-tech. Okay, everything that we use in the container farm now, and in our next 30,000 square feet farm, yes, we actually adopt the latest technology. And I hear you talking about drone. Yes, when we were having our first harvest, we actually engaged a company that used drone, okay, to shoot our container farm from probably half a kilometer away, all the way to our face.
Interesting. So, William, just to give you a little bit of heads up, like your screen was a bit acting weird.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, my next question, while we are still waiting for Hansel to log back in, is okay. What are some of the investments that we are seeing in the sports tech field? Because we have fitness, then we have sports. Let's start with Tushar.
Sports is very close to my, I really love looking at sports companies. We have the cricketer, very famous cricketer in India, Yuvraj Singh. So we work very closely with his outfit, UVCan Ventures. I have also worked very closely with Riti Sports, which is the outfit of MS Dhoni, the cricketer, pretty popular in India. And also a couple of sports companies. One is a sports OTT channel, and they have, they own the Indian Badminton League, which is the first private badminton sports league in India. And we are always looking at companies which are involved in making athletic footwear and clothing. And then there are companies that make sports equipment like helmets, baseballs, shin guards, and OTT, over the top channels are my favorite because they are booming across India. Sports collectibles, team ownerships, like after the huge success of Indian Premier League, there have been a lot of other leagues, like the Wrestling League is one. Wrestling is the most famous sports in India after cricket. And there is the Wrestling League is doing very well in rural areas because wrestling is a very famous sport out there. And also there is a company which came recently, which has an app which gamifies all the fitness routines. So they make it very interesting. And because I'm also working very closely with another edtech company, which is using gamification to make education interesting, and which is already doing a turnover of around $5 million. So this other sports company, which is using gamification, I foresee doing very well because that's what the new generation wants. They want everything to be interesting and colorful and easy to use and easy to learn. So that's where sports stands for me right now.
So do you think, Tushar, because of the interest in esports or anything with sort of digital sports, the real sports, the actual traditional sports that we used to go and watch on the field, is it soon going to maybe not?
No.
No. Okay.
that will never fade away. You know, the joy of being out in the environment. That's the original fitness which our body is made for. And you know, I'm sure Gary is a country boy, so he would know what I'm saying. I have, you know, my upbringing was in a very small city just near the Himalayas. We used to have no pollution, hardly very less population, lot of fishes in the river, beautiful water, beautiful farmyards, mango orchards, and those kind of stuff. These are, you know, they will always remain. Like for sports also, that the original experience will never go away.
No, I mean the IPLs of India, the Indian Premier League, where people just gather in big crowds. But with the COVID
That will
thing,
return back. That will return back. You know, to give you a perspective, with the COVID vaccine having come in, more than 1 million people have been given the jabs already in such a short time, and we are. The government is saying they by August all the healthcare workers and people above 50 years of age will get the jabs. So that is not an easy for a country like India, but it's on track. So the outdoor sports, IPLs, the other leagues, they will come back very soon in no time.
Touch wood. Good to know. Thank you, Tushar. Hansel, are we back? We can just have a discussion. You can talk about your project and give us an overview of what it is. And you're also looking to raise funds. So, yes.
Yeah. So, give me a minute. Let me switch back. So, what are we doing? We're basically using blockchain as a way to save time and money, bringing down not only the lead time it takes to produce the coffee, because one of the biggest drags is, as you say, wastage and all that directly comes from waiting for the coffee to be sold. So how we are doing that with our workflow is with blockchain. So right now, there's no market leader that is doing this on this level that our company is doing. So what that means is there is a very big opportunity. Companies like Starbucks, they have their good coffee, but they only have a few of their high-end, the level that we are producing specialty coffee. Jamaican Blue Mountain and Organo, I'm sure you've heard of it, the multi-level marketing ones. They are closer to what we are doing, but then again, there's still the same marketing inefficiencies that go from bean to cup. So where does blockchain come in? A blockchain, by properly incentivizing customers as well as fans to take part in our network, we can reward them for being active.
Right.
So you can see some of the competitors like Bitcoin. They have done a fantastic job of recording blocks, as it's called, hence the term blockchain. So these are immutable. They cannot be changed. They can only be updated. This gives a very strong engine for us to continue moving forward. So what kind of product are we doing that we need to go to this level of detail? We use perfect water and we use oval coffee. And because of blockchain, many of these costs are reduced significantly to as much as $5 for a transaction. That's our only cost. So what happens when you let coffee sit for extended periods of coffee? Mycotoxins. A lot of the mycotoxins that naturally occur in coffee, which is one of the reasons why if you like leave bean sprouts, there's this like white material. That's actually the webbing that's inside the mold. There's a symbiotic relationship that goes on inside plants, same as that of humans. Our gut bacteria, which is inherited from our parents, which is why breastfeeding is so important. So you don't need to have anti-acids because all these mycotoxins build up over time as it sits in the warehouse in Colombia, in Brazil. It sits in the warehouse in America as it waits to be roasted. So even though the roasting can get rid of that smell, those fungi, it's still inside the bean. So what happens when you do a complete and total end-to-end chain securing? You get great taste. Our coffee is incredibly smooth. There are no preservatives because they are built to order. Basically, people deposit the chain, and then when it's available, and they join a virtual queue. So they don't even have to queue in real life. They just turn up at our location, and it's ready, bagged, and they're good to go to enjoy our coffee. So the 7 years journey that we took, basically, we went through the fundamentals of coffee extraction. Let me get rid of that. So all the coffee benefits remain as if you were in Brazil itself enjoying the cup of coffee. So there is no additional process. That's one of the reasons why we chose blockchain as the solution. So World War II was a significant change in how coffee was distributed. And it's actually one of the first energy drinks in the world because caffeine. So cold brew doesn't disturb that network of nutrition. A lot of people don't know. As part of my research, I found that having too hot water can significantly change the way the antioxidant interacts with our body, which turns it harmful. So what kind of market validation are we talking here? We're talking just on America alone, 183 million coffee drinking Americans, as well as cafe shops and bars, which was what was initially looked for in the city that we were going to market. So that's what we are selling. We are selling health and nutrition. One of the things in my research was found that 1 cup of this could literally replace all 5 cups. I could have the same amount of energy, focus, and concentration that I would normally get when I had to keep drinking coffee. And I didn't have any of the heartburn issues, which I used to have. So that's the total amount of cups served worldwide. So you just think of how much coffee was made just to sit in a warehouse, to await shipping, to reach the US border or Chinese or Singapore border, to again wait to be roasted, and then shipped to a coffee shop to wait to be ground and brewed. So other people have tried the same thing. Amazon has tried the same thing. So you're talking about a significant amount of money that's normally paid per purchase. And we're doing exactly the same thing, but because of blockchain, we can actually produce the same cost at a higher quality at better taste. So if we are talking at $250 to $550 each, this shot here would be reasonable, which is what we were going for when we produced this. So where were we?
Yeah.
So you may be able to hit this target cost per serving for wholesalers as well, which means we also have the opportunity to become not just an end-to-end, but this blockchain efficiencies can also be transferred to people who want to carry our coffee as a reseller or as raw material for them to produce their own coffees.
Right.
So off the top, we actually just sell this straight off from our website at $36. This is actually like before tax. And if you just bought it alone, it'll be $4.90. So this would be the complete range if you bought it just like this. Prices haven't been updated yet.
Right. Okay, cool.
So the science, as I earlier pointed out, has a symbiotic relationship that basically allows seedling to become a seedling. Without that webbing, the plant would easily not be able to absorb. It wouldn't have a base to hold and absorb water. Basically, it will just pass through and the plant will die. But this same fungi, if it's allowed to grow within the bean, will have a negative effect on our physiology.
Right.
So basically, our proprietary methods were based on actual ancient history. I actually went all the way back to Babylonian stone tablets to understand how they extracted and why they extracted the way they extracted. I duplicated it down to the letter, even trying to perfect the water, which eventually, of course, after 7 years, we did. So this is a bit updated. Let's skip. So this was me closing a deal in China. Unfortunately, it fell through, which is why I brought up earlier about the company going under. So this was one of the problems. So thank you very much. If there's any questions about how we plan to move forward with the blockchain, it's actually how similar companies have launched, and they have actually launched successfully within hours. And that's actually amazing to me, which is one of the reasons why I actually moved to blockchain instead of traditional marketing methods of using at least 3 layers of intermediaries and agents. So how it would be done in the old way would be you sell country rights, and those country rights, he has to meet a certain KPI, otherwise he loses his license. But then again, there's no guarantee that after paying for that license, he would actually market your coffee or even move a single case. And I personally have experienced or known of people who actually bought the rights just to sit on it because they thought it could be valuable in the future and someone would buy it off of them. So essentially, instead of moving the coffee, they became a type of troll, meaning a gatekeeper, rather than someone who actually did move our product.
All right, Hansel, can we take some questions now?
Yeah. So now
great.
we end the presentation. We can take any questions.
Great presentation. Yes, I'm sure everybody is going to be, all of us here drink coffee, right? So I think people would have questions. Let's start with Gary. Gary, what's your feedback and what's your questions? Because a lot of American statistics were there on the presentation.
I don't drink coffee. I drink tea.
Uh-oh.
Just FYI.
Well, then you're missing out.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm missing out, but I like tea. Anyhow, how much money are you raising, Hansel?
Well, we're looking to raise about 50,000 to about 500,000 just to get the launch metrics and marketing materials up for the blockchain. So how it would work is
Hansel, let me just stop you right there. You never tell an investor you're going to raise about 50 to 500,000 because it means you don't know your business. So Tushar's smiling right now. So just, you got to you need to talk about what the use of funds. It makes, you lose credibility when you say that. So make sure when you're doing your presentations, you come up with exactly the amount. And honestly, $50,000 for what, right? Doesn't make any sense. I'm not sure $500,000. This is pretty capital intensive, right? So I'm not even sure $500,000 is enough money to do it. So you need to have those, because William and Tushar are going to hit you as soon as I'm done here with some of those things. And how many, you said you had one company that you failed in, right? What's your background?
In finance, hardware, IT, computer hardware, and of course now coffee.
And what did you work in? Where did you work, and what were you doing?
I was in Prudential. I was a private financial consultant for the last 7 years.
Okay, so what you need to do is you need to, part of raising money is about storytelling. And, the art of the pitch is really important. If you get a chance, go on the internet. If you Google my name, Gary Fowler, and Bill Reichert is one of the top guys in the world about getting the wow. I would listen to that particular session, because it'll give you some hints. You need to have a wow statement, why you're better than everybody else, what you're going to do, how fast you're going to do it, and when they can expect some type of a liquidity event.
Right.
Right.
I think.
So to answer your question, the liquidity event, once we've done with the initial marketing, so what we are doing is, how it's done in the blockchain space is you get basically views. So once we hit like 10,000 people who subscribe to the blockchain, there's a giveaway event, and the giveaway event usually triggers a buy event. And how we are doing it is that the only way you can get these tokens, which are our loyalty reward tokens, which we reward customers for participating in the network, is that they have to buy a Black Lion coin. So the Black Lion coin can be exchanged for a case of the cold brew, which allows them to enjoy the coffee without having to actually hold on to it.
I'll tell you what, Hansel, it's very confusing what you just told me. I don't know about the rest of the folks here, but you need to come up with a very pointed story, right? Go ahead, Tushar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, you look at Cafe Coffee Day, which is an Indian chain, which is the first original Indian chain in coffee, and it never made a profit. So we have, I'm just trying to tell you, this business is very tough. Why Starbucks survives is because it takes premium pricing, and that premium pricing allows it to survive. I mean, Cafe Coffee Day was vertically integrated. They had their own plantations. They had their own, supply of coffee throughout the retail outlets. And so it's not an easy business to be in. I'm not putting your business down, Hansel. You're trying something different. So yeah, you're trying something different. So my best wishes are there for you.
Yeah, I understand perfectly. Not many people understand how integrated I am into the coffee industry.
Okay. Any questions from William?
Right. I have no comment on blockchain or tech because from my perspective as an investor or advisor or businessman, that's all irrelevant. What I'm more concerned is about the quality of your coffee. All right. Where do you find customer? How do you compete in the market? How is the coffee bean different? Right. And so you mentioned a lot about the technology, the traceability, the ledgers or whatsoever. But as consumer, just like when I ask my partner before I go into the vertical farm with him, why buy a veggie? Is your price competitive to organic or to normal farming? If it's too expensive because the capex is so high, right? So is there any buyer to buy your super expensive vegetables? Okay. And how does it taste? Right? You never mentioned about how your coffee bean is different or your taste is different or how you deliver the coffee is different. All you talk about is technology. But from consumer, right? If I have your token or your coin and I don't even like your coffee, so why do I want to invest in your token or your coin? I think that is from my perspective. Thank you.
Thank you.
To answer your question, thank you for asking those questions. So it's very difficult for me to explain the level of craft that I've put into the coffee. I can more than happy to ship you. If you just post your address, I'll send it to you today.
Cool, right?
I'm not kidding. I'll send it to you today. DHL will pick it up tomorrow morning.
I will go to my nearest coffee, which I frequent for coffee at least a cup a day. So you can send it.
To give you an example, I sell out within 2 hours.
All right. Okay.
My coffee, when I post it on Facebook and taking orders and we do a Facebook Live, it's 2 hours gone. Cool. And we sell at $39.
I'll leave the coffee shop address for you, and then to Tony, and then I will let the professional barista brew a cup for me with his machine.
Sure.
And no problem. I'm happy to.
Can we talk about business?
Yes.
Can.
No problem. Great. Thank you so much, William, for that offer. I hope Hansel was going to post you some, and probably you guys do some business. I'm really hopeful about that. We are going to end the show. It's a Friday, and on popular demand, I really want Tushar to sing now. Tushar, you have to sing. Because closing remarks. I know it's coming from Gary as well. Tushar, please, one line and we take closing remarks.
So, okay, I'll sing, but it's not a dance song. It's a romantic song, and I'm singing it for Sunny because she's such a beautiful moderator.
I feel slighted. I thought you were singing it for me.
For you, I'll sing an underworld song with guns,
Okay.
Okay, great.
Okay, so tu hi re, tere bina main kaise jiun, aaja re, यूं ही तड़पाना तू मुझको, जान रे, इन सांसों में बस जा तू, चांद रे, आजा दिल की जमीन पे तू. Okay?
Thank you.
Oh my God.
See, I told you, Sonny.
I think Gary knows that you are a good singer, obviously.
Yeah, we were kidding. Come on. Go ahead, Sonny. Yeah.
You have a good voice, for sure. I understand Hindi, so I can tell he has got a very good voice to sing. Thank you so much.
I think, for every closing remarks, he should start with singing, right?
This is a wellness thing. Come on.
Thank you so much.
Hope everybody else could
That
understand.
was great, Tushar. Good job.
Thank you.
So today we are talking about wellness, mental health, our food that affects our health. I think this is also a very important aspect of our total health ecosystem. We have, oh my God, Tushar, I think we've got a high for you. I think somebody liked your singing and we got a high from Deepu Roy.
I think somebody wants a date.
You'll be the superstar of
This was a secret pact between me and Gary to get me dates.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the connection?
Tushar is single. Anybody out there around the world, Tushar's open for the weekend.
Ooh, very good. Tushar, all the best. Great. Yeah. Good fun. Okay. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you so much.
Joined. I hope all the viewers enjoyed. This is a Friday episode of VCTV, and this is the mental health episode of VCTV. And I think humor is a big part of our health. I mean, we have to. Okay, shipping details. Okay, sorry, I got distracted by Hansel's messages. But anyways, I think Gary is going to share his shipping details, and Hansel, you can send your coffee over to Gary. Probably he's going to start liking coffee after drinking your coffee.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, almost all the tea drinkers that drank our coffee loved it. because of the clean taste, and they didn't get the stomach burn that they normally associate with coffee.
Perfect. Let's just quickly wrap up and take closing remarks and have a very good weekend. Where are you going to see me, as usual, on my bike?
Yeah,
and
that sounds great.
Singing some songs from you on Facebook Live. So let's take some closing remarks. Let's start with Tushar.
Yeah, so sustainable food is, see, end of the day, the earth can only support that much. So it has to come in the main course of our studies, our education system, wellness, a lot of nervous energy of people sitting at home because of COVID. It has to get released so people make use of all technologies. If any health tech company, wellness company, sustainable food company globally wants funding, we are connected to almost 230 global investors across Singapore, APAC region, Dubai, Hong Kong, and US and UK. So I am available on LinkedIn, Tushar Consul. That's my name, Consultancy Ventures. Thank you so much, Sunny.
Thank you, Tushar. Thank you. Awesome. So you are a singer, VCTV singer. Don't forget that. William, with your closing remarks.
Right. I think you talked about mental wellness. I think listening to Tushar sing, I think all this will go away.
Yeah,
right?
Sure.
All right. So I think, of course, if you look at the current global markets or environment or even moods, everybody is actually very depressed and stressed. Okay, and eating healthy foods and sustainable food is very important. Okay, and more importantly, also when we can't travel or we don't have total freedom of going out to enjoy ourselves, I think all this will add to the mental stress and wellness. Okay, so yeah, I think my advice for entrepreneur, there's a lot of opportunities around. Okay, look at your neighbor, even within your family, or even your kids, how well or how they're doing. Okay, learning from home. I think there's tremendous opportunity for us to tap on. Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, William. Thank you. Awesome. Hansel, on VCTV, what's your thoughts?
Well, thank you so much for inviting us and giving us an opportunity to present to the investors here. Certainly, mental health and wellness is important. We have a different opinion on the sustainability of Earth due to the research that we have done in the last 7 years. And yeah, we look forward to more fruitful discussion.
Yes, and you're going to ship out that coffee to New York. Is it New York?
We will.
Yeah, great. Over to you, Gary, with your closing remarks, please.
Yeah, so closing remarks, having fun and being happy is really important to living longer and enjoying your life. So always, no matter where you are or who you're with, what you do, laughter is the best medicine. So be happy. And, I did a TEDx one time about passion, optimism, and visualization. Visualize where you want to go, believe in your dreams, and smile, and it'll make things a lot better. No matter what you do, I've done it through all my companies in the darkest times. I've seen the light, and every single time things have come around. So believe in your dreams. It's a great opportunity today. The digital transformation is upon us. Stay healthy, eat right, and go biking, Sonny.
See you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for those closing remarks, Gary. Be happy. That's exactly what the point is. Happiness is very important for our well-being, mental well-being, most importantly. Thank you so much. Have a nice weekend. I go biking. Gary does biking as well, I guess.
Yeah.
Song, and we're gonna have fun. Let's have a great weekend. I'm back on Monday with another topic, another set of speakers. Till then, stay happy. Bye-bye.
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 Bye.
Bye.